So, hello. I forgot my base for where I put my phone, so it has to be by hand. Um, Today's topic of debate or conversation will be about the donation of body and to science, I guess. And this was recorded outside again, and it's really windy, and I did my best. That's all I wanted to say. So, thanks. So, today, me and Sebastian thought about a topic um, that is to donate your body to science, which is something that I haven't looked up because it just came up randomly. So, apologies for any information that may be misinformation.
Is okay.
And you are going to donate to fill some required papers to donate your body to science.
Yes, I will do.
Why did you decide that?
I decided to do it so because I thought it could somehow influence people who study at college, uh, for instance, on the subject of anatomy and medical sciences.
It's a cool topic. Yeah, I mean, it's something that maybe people are not very comfortable about because it has to do more with death too. But yeah, I mean, donating their body to science seems to be a logical thing to do. You won't need it anymore, and maybe they find something in your body that may help future generations. So some altruistic thinking. Yeah, I like it. I'm thinking about doing it too.
Yeah, it is good to do it so because it is something really important. At the moment, I do not have any religious thought or a philosophy that restricts my my decision to do, and I'm confident that's going to be important for somebody. Would you like to do it too as well?
Yeah, yeah. I have been thinking about that for a few years, but because you are doing it now, then it's a good opportunity for me to do it too. And it's in the same university, I guess. So yeah.
There are some restrictions about donating the body, because the body shall not die, for example, on a car incident. It should The death should be
It has to be well preserved.
yes, it has to be well preserved. Otherwise, if the body comes out with damage, it is going to be harder for them to accept it. The institution I am heading, I'm leaving my body, is to Coimbra University.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I have to research about the specifics of donating your body and which requirements it takes and it needs. Yeah, it probably has a few rules. I mean, you probably can't do drugs or something like that. I don't know if you can have tattoos or not. For example, to donate your blood, you can't have tattoos.
Cannot have.
You cannot have. I guess it's because of the ink in your blood. So people with tattoos here in Portugal cannot donate blood. I don't have any tattoos. I don't do drugs. So I don't know which more requirements are needed. But yeah, probably has a set of rules that I'll need to check.
In fact, there is not any document who actually says a person who's on drugs cannot deliver their bodies, uh, because it is an interesting element to actually go through.
Sure. Yeah. I was thinking. Yeah. I don't know if you can or can't.
Mm.
I was thinking about the tattoos because of the blood thing and drugs. I mean, I
Mhm.
don't know. Maybe I would like to study if I were an anthropologist. No,
Somebody who works professionally
yeah,
in anatomy.
yeah. Um, yeah, I would probably like to study the body of someone who did drugs to see the effects of the drug on the liver, on the brain. It would probably be something interesting to study.
Yeah, the ones who smoke can also
Yeah.
deliver their body as well. The ones who would have eventually a mental disease or a
Sure.
or whomever wants
Yeah.
to do it, so it should be, despite it is not mandatory in Portugal, it is an option everyone has to do. Otherwise people go to would have celebrations, religious celebrations.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing. I don't know how it is with religion. I don't know if you have to sign a paper that says that it's up to you and not up to your parents or up to your community. It's probably an individual choice and not a community choice.
The document I filled, it is free in Portugal. You do not have to pay for to fill the document. And in order to fill in the blanks, you have to be at least 18 years old to do it. Otherwise, and if you're still up with this idea, your parents should sign up for you because you're not an adult yet.
Your parents can decide
Yeah,
for you before you are 18.
no, what I meant was you can decide if you want to donate the body or not, and if you're under 18, your parents must fill in the blanks on the document.
Okay.
That's it, because the person is not adult
Sure.
by the time. A second thing which is very interesting is that by the time the the workers do the work they have to do on the body, the things that left are packed up and go to a museum.
Yeah. I've seen some. I've been into some very interesting museums on which there were real human bodies, stripes cutting 3 or 4 horizontally or vertically in this case. It was really cool. You could really see the insides of the organs and the brain. It's probably a really cool thing to study, that kind of anatomy. It would be really interesting. But yeah,
It is something very. It is something that this attitude I just took, I think, takes courage, because some people would feel upset or somehow disturbed to think on dead bodies and the death itself. However, on my point of view, I did not have any concern to do it, so because this is my body.
sure, yeah. And yeah, I mean, some cultures probably can't do it, and some religions most likely forbid it. But yeah, since neither of us is in such a culture, in such a religion, I heard a few years ago that in some countries, the moment you are born, the moment you are a citizen, your body is already set to, if you die, you go to science. It's contrary here.
If not,
So
we don't.
yeah, if you don't want it to be set to science, you are the one who has to go there and fill a paper like we are doing now. but in reverse, so that it's not same two sides. Yeah, I think that's
Mhm.
it's interesting.
Mm, Yes, it is. Uh, you said some people might not do it because of religion, but let's take this example. By the time somebody is dead, uh, people can do whatever they must do with their bodies. Let's suppose.
Not really, but more or less.
Yes, but the context I tell is that suppose somebody really has to do a surgery and then needs a new lungs or a new liver or stomach or whatever. Uh, your body, if it is still fresh, doctors can go there and do this surgery because your organs are still available and fresh enough in order to do this procedure.
Yeah, but some people, some people in some countries don't. I mean, some people can't even have blood transfusions because of some. I think it's the Jehovah's Witness. I think it's the Jews, but I'm not sure. So yeah, it's different interpretations of stuff.
Mhm. There are other practices uh, that that are somehow very impressive that I've never seen before. Is that people who actually die, the ones who survive, uh, spread salt upon their bodies in order to decay it faster. If it is on fresh air, it decays faster.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that the body decays 4 times faster in water. I don't know what practices done. But yeah, some people have interesting practices in that.
It, I, I am not sure. Eventually, it does not happen in Europe very much. But if it's somewhere used to be working, it eventually is going on India, for example, or in some places in Africa. Eventually, they do that. I've read this practice to spread salt on the body in order to decay faster would eventually happen in Mid East, somewhere in
Yeah.
Asia.
There was. I don't know anything about, by the way, the Jewish practice of the what they do with the dead. What I have heard, and I'm not sure if it's true, so I'm just gonna keep it here because I don't want it to be misinformation if it's not true. That the way they bury their dead is in extreme simplicity, where it's just a wooden box with the person wrapped in shrouds and with holes in the bottom of the casket so that that person can touch the earth. And I think it's their belief that the soul of the person continues to suffer until the body is decomposed. I am not sure about that, but I will research it before I upload this video. Um, and I think it's very interesting. It's the person is still there until the body is not anymore. It's probably not very helpful mentally for the family to know that the person is still suffering even after they're dead. But it's an interesting theory.
Well, well, yeah. Well, it is. I've never heard something that way. Uh, I'd like, by the time I am dead, that um, that my friends that I have or family do not cry by the time I am dying or feel upset or disturbed with that, because it might somehow destroy the ambience and the atmosphere in order to die comfortably. Do you think that way as well?
I mean, I would want to be. I would want my body to either be delivered to science or cremated. Um, I'm not sure. I mean, if you cremate someone's body, I don't know if you have a funeral before it or not. I really don't know. But yeah, I would like people to just accept my death and move on. I mean, the show goes on. So yeah.
Yeah, that's because that's what I would do. If eventually I'd have somebody by my side who would die in a certain period of time, the attitude that I would have is that to be the most receptive possible, in a way that that person might have the might feel the most comfortable and to share his or her thoughts.
Sure. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. I have been to a few funerals, and it's always a very grim environment. Um, I think it was Yanis that said that a few tribes in Africa make a huge party when people die because it's a huge celebration. This person is now in a better place. Um, and they eat cake and everybody comes and it's a huge party. And it's interesting to see how death is perceived around the world. On which here in Portugal people are extremely sad and everybody cries and everybody wears black. And it's like a period of suffering and all of that. And in some other cultures it's a matter of rejoice. It's better, it's a matter of celebration. Look at this party and I think it's probably a more healthy way to deal with death, to celebrate it rather than see it as almost a curse. I would rather have that kind of celebration of saying this person lived and died and had a fantastic life and had friends and family, and now his time is gone. It's natural. Then having people cry, I think it's way too much. I don't feel very comfortable with that.
Yes, I do understand. However, it is for some people it might be extremely difficult
Sure.
to not feel sad or to show their tears, because emotionally it is pretty insane. It is pretty
Sure,
insane.
sure, sure.
So that's it. But but in my point of view, I think everyone might have a good death, depending on how they were in their lives.
Sure.
Let's suppose that somebody lives with less possessions than us, but they are so happy as we. They definitely might have a better. They might be feel better when by the time they're dying, because since they have no possessions, or at least less possessions than us, they might feel less anxious to decide what things go for A
Sure.
and B.
And it's, yeah, I mean, the matters of sharing the possessions of your family usually or often tear the families apart. It's like, I want his car, I want his money, I want his property. Like, it's so stupid. People take the opportunity of taking someone's death as to make profit, and it's fucking ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah, I've seen that firsthand. It's really, it's kind of gross actually.
Yes, it is. So let's suppose we are we are two siblings, but but our parents only have one house.
Yeah.
For whom does the house
I
go?
mean, yeah, if we have our own houses, probably the best move would be to sell the house or to rent it and divide the money. It's a simple thing.
Yeah,
But yeah, in many cases it's extremely complicated. Like, for whom does the car go? Who deserved the car? Who deserved the property or the house? Who deserved the I don't know, the beds and the closets and all of that, because people will have to have that. And we have the authority to sell it. It's probably so. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want anything from anyone. I'll have my own things. Thank you very much, and I don't want to go through the trouble of having to separate things with my cousins and brother.
Yeah, so I think we both agree that perhaps possessions might cause some anxiety.
Sure.
And
Yeah, no doubt.
that's right. That's it. Eventually, if one day if I die, I would eventually give my things to my family, whomever they are, or
Or just sell it to charity. Fuck it. I mean, make it easy. Put it in your will that everything I own is now property of the Red Cross.
yes, it's not mine anymore.
Yeah, they can sell it. They can have the money, and they can pay for food around the world with it. It's probably a better way to go. Then give it to people that probably already have the stuff you already have too. They don't need another bed. They don't need another house. They don't need that much money, unless your family actually does. But that's another topic, and I don't think it's true. So yeah, it's a difficult topic.
So yeah, do you have any more things to say about
No.
about this?
And I probably should have mentioned this in the beginning of the video. This video is being recorded outside, and you have already noticed that. And it's windy, more or less, and there are some annoying kids here. So yeah, I'll do my best to keep the audio as clear as possible. But I'm no magician. I can't promise you. I cannot promise you my best work. So is that it for you?
Yes, it is. So to conclude, I think we. Okay, so to conclude. Okay, yeah, come back.
So phone fell, and thank you very much. See you.